Autoimmune diseases as a group are one of the top 10 leading causes of death for women aged 65 and under. While approximately 15 million Americans suffer from autoimmune diseases, women make up 75% of all autoimmune diagnoses, and African American women comprise a significant amount of these cases. Meet 7 women who live each day of their lives with these chronic illnesses. Oftentimes, these women appear to have a healthy outer appearance.
And you
Exactly,
look good,
and
right,
you look good,
right.
and they don't understand, why, you can't pick up the pace, or why you can't, or, even friends that they mean well, but because you look good, they don't understand. They're just thinking you're being a flake.
A couple days later, and he said he wanted me to come into his office and talk with me.
Okay.
And he said, he started questioning. He said, "Are you tired? Have you been?" I said, "No, nothing unusual. I mean, as a working mother and wife and all, had come home, I mean, we're all tired. We don't get enough sleep."
So, sure enough, I went to my doctor, and I was explaining it to him, and he says, "I don't want to second guess this." He says, "So I want you to go see a neurologist and have them to test you." So I went to a neurologist, and they gave me the EMG, and he says, "Oh, you have MS." And I was like, "Excuse me?"
And often, when you try to explain it to people, you would get feedback like, "Well, you don't look sick."
Yes.
And I'd hear this all the time, and I'd be in so much pain.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, well, I may not look sick, but I sure don't feel good.
One doctor said that it was an issue I had from when I was a little girl. They wanted me to see a psychiatrist, saying that there was some deep-rooted issues that I had suppressed when I was a child, so it was affecting my body now.
I think at one point they even said that they wanted to put me into a mental institute because I wasn't responding correctly, and I was just...
I'm sorry. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, it is.
Why did it have to happen to me?
Sure.
When I've never been sick before?
Patients can have a variety of unusual complaints which sound pretty bizarre to the listener. And some of our patients are often cited as having a psychiatric problem, when in fact they really have an autoimmune disorder.
To understand the symptoms of an autoimmune disease, a patient must first know the cause of these illnesses.
An autoimmune disease is when your immune system recognizes your own normal tissue as being foreign or abnormal in some way, and the immune system begins to attack normal cells throughout the body. There's several different kinds of symptoms you can develop from it.
Since 1996, I was walking the mall, and after going around 3 times, I noticed that my left leg would buckle, my knee would sort of give out, and then it would be like a tingling sensation.
Well, I was on vacation on a cruise, and I was out sunbathing, doing what you do on vacation on a cruise. And it started off as these 2 red blotches on my face, which I assumed was just sunburn.
Yes, I had dry eyes too, but I didn't realize it. I would just get the drops. They told me to. My ophthalmologist said for me to just go out and buy the it's like Vicine, but it's a little.
Okay.
And that's what I was just. I didn't think anything about the dry eyes.
Okay.
My first episode was my finger had swollen, and I went to the hospital to get a ring removed, and then my whole hand swelled. And then a couple of days after that, my body started to swell, and there were changes within my body that took place.
Conversation, my speech started to slur. Kind of took me back. I was a little freaked out, so I just waited a little while. And
when I was 5, they were thinking I just didn't want to go to school. But as long as I can remember, my legs always ached the same way they ache now, like that nauseous type of aching.
What treatment options will each of these women face? Will they be able to battle each of their diseases head on, or will they allow society's definition of beauty affect how they cope with their illness? Discover the answers to these questions in Beauty Does Lie, The Untold Stories of Autoimmune Diseases.